And while we're talking about the MCU, I guess let's just go ahead and talk about this right now. Let's talk about that Spider-Man trailer, guys. Did you guys see the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer? I know you guys did. Clearly. And again, I'm not going to do a breakdown on the whole trailer. You can watch it whenever. You probably already have. But there was these images that actually, I mean, I had remembered hearing something, some kind of word that maybe this film was set on or around Halloween. And I think I remember hearing something like that. But I've been concentrating so much on The Batman, which is going to be released next year, that I wasn't really following the development of this film as nearly as close. But here we go. This is the first image that suggests that the film takes place partly on or around Halloween. And you can see right there, that's our Peter Parker. And right behind him, there's some Black Cat decorations that look like the kind of Black Cat decorations that you only really see up around Halloween time. And even in the reflection of that picture hanging over his shoulder, I don't know what it is, but it looks like some orange lights that are very possibly Halloween lights. At least that's what I was thinking. And then they show us this next image, which, again, there's no telling if it's the actual very next image that we see in the movie. Sometimes they edit these things weird, but that's what we see next. Presumably the lights that are reflecting on that picture. And it looks like, I mean, the next scene he goes to see Doctor Strange. So it kind of looks like it's supposed to be like a Doctor Strange Halloween string light, except it doesn't really look too much like Doctor Strange. He's wearing a witch hat. So it's almost like a generic, like Walmart version or Dollar Tree version. Probably not Dollar Tree, like a generic version of string lights that are meant to resemble Doctor Strange, but they probably don't have the actual likeness rights within the MCU. I mean, to use the Doctor Strange likeness. I don't know. I'm reading into it a lot, but what I'm not reading into it is the fact that right there in the bottom left-hand corner of that photo, that's what confirms it beyond a shadow of a doubt. That is the word Halloween. That is a bat hanging next to the Halloween. Again, kind of cool just seeing a bat in a Spider-Man movie. Just saying, I'm a Batman guy too. But but that is Halloween. So again, will the whole movie take place on Halloween and culminate on October 31st? I'm sure it won't. It may even only just be a few minutes that take place around this season. But there is even other evidence as well, aside from just these two scenes. These are the most definite two, but there's other stuff like just the fall foliage that you can clearly see in the trees when Spider-Man is flying around in the trailer. And it clearly looks like fall. There's also scenes that they're back in school. It almost seems like a returning back to school after summer, which all makes total sense. I don't know if you guys how big a Spider-Man fans you are, if you saw the last two Spider-Man movies, but the first Marvel Spider-Man movie from 2017 that took place around in school during the school year. I think it was I forget what part of the school year it was. It was toward later on in the year. Then the last movie, Far From Home, that took place over summer break. So it makes sense that this new movie would be in the fall later that year, and school has resumed again. All of which suggests fall, autumn, Halloween setting. Again, is it going to play a factor into the film? I doubt it. But again, minor spoiler if you haven't watched the Spider-Man trailer and don't want to know anything, but there is that quick glimpse of what definitely appears to be one of Green Goblin's pumpkin bombs. That's what they're called in the comics. That's what they look like in the comics. They've never really looked like that in the feature film versions and Sam Raimi's versions or in the Amazing Spider-Man versions when they've done Green Goblin. They never quite look like pumpkins per se. But again, and again, admittedly, this is the part I'm reaching the most, but I still just think it's cool. There's a pumpkin bomb in a movie set on or around Halloween. So it opens December 17th. And we'll be talking more about that as we get closer to that, I'm sure, and as more evidence comes out about how much of the film, in fact, is or isn't set on and around Halloween. It definitely looks like Peter's going to be traveling to other universes, opening up the multiverse. So it may very quickly get away from that, but just as easily now it could very easily kind of follow that and use that imagery. I mean, think about thematically what they're doing. Peter's in the trailer saying, thinking about, I wish everybody didn't know I was Spider-Man. I wish I could go back to wearing my disguise, my costume. Halloween's all about costumes. Again, I mean, who knows where they're going to go with this, but it is possible that in these other dimensions, it's still kind of the same calendar day, just in other dimensions. Which, how rad would that be to get multiple different versions of Halloween season in multiple different multiverse universes? Again, it's probably not going to be a whole lot more than what we see in the trailer, honestly, but there's always the chance it could be a lot more. And again, these movies don't tend to jump a huge, at least the Spider-Man films haven't really jumped a huge amount of time within each 2-hour film. They all take place within a few days of each other, give or take. I think the first one, it was a little bit longer than that when he's training and everything, but the last one anyway. All right, so what do you guys think about that real quick before moving on? And again, we're covering Spider-Man. We're covering Spider-Man, y'all. We're also covering Batman. Not just because of the long Halloween movies that just came out, but like I said, the Batman is coming out in March, hopefully. That one is also set on or around Halloween. At least that's what we believe. That's what evidence in that trailer suggests. That's what photos from the set suggest. And knowing that it is at least somewhat inspired by the long Halloween comic book arc, that suggests that as well. But I'm going to talk more about that at a later time.